saved you a lot of the headache associated with me actually making my dough. Of course, I like 5½ cups of sugar, flour, a half a cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of salt, a half a stick of butter, half cup of milk, and of course a half cup of warm water that was used to activate the yeast. The next step for this yeast is to move it to a greased bowl, and I've already done that. I have a bowl that is saturated from top to bottom with olive oil. I'm going to move the dough there and allow it to rise. Alright, I've now moved the dough from the mixing bowl to a well-greased bowl where I will cover the dough and ultimately let it sit and rise. The gluten in the dough has certainly been activated. The dough is quite pliable, and we should get a good bit of bread out of this particular mix. All right. Okay. Given that I have been cooking all day and making lasagna and chicken parm and all sorts of good things, I prefer to actually let my dough rise sitting on the stove. It is not on an active eye, and it's certainly not on the eye that vents the oven. But this area is certainly warmer than most in the house this time of year. So cover it with just plain saran wrap, soaked copiously in extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to let the bread rise, and after the first rise, I'll punch it down, make biscuits, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, guys, it's only been about 20-25 minutes, and as you can see, our dough has already doubled in size. I'm going to continue to let it grow until it gets to the point that it has adhered itself to the saran wrap, and then I'll knock it down and I'll show you how to make yeast rolls. Okay, guys, I waited another 25 minutes. Not only has the bread risen, but it is now tripled its original size. As you see, it is now not only at the level of the saran wrap, but it is busting out of the saran wrap. So I'm going to knock this down. Knocking it down is a really simple process. It's exactly what it sounds like. That's it. I will now take that and begin to make yeast rolls on a cookie sheet for a second rising. All right, I will give you a video in just a little bit. So there are lots of ways of reducing dough adhesions to your bread pan or your cookie sheet or whatever you use. I prefer a half stick of melted butter in the bottom. In the bottom of the pan, I actually like the use of parchment paper, but I like the flavor of caramelized butter on the bottom of the bread, as well as the caramelized dough as it mixes with the butter in the bottom of the pan. So I am a big fan of the process that I just showed you. All right, guys. So, as you see, I've made a series of yeast rolls that we will let rise. There we go. You're in focus now. I simply grabbed a ball from the bowl, and then I made a round ball that I needed some, and then placed into our butter mix. You'll see each one is still swimming in butter. Over the next 45 minutes, as these rise, we'll see what they look like, but they really are porous, quite porous, and will absorb a substantial amount of that butter. I always add more butter after they come out anyway. I decided to do a small experiment. Rather than saturating the bottom with butter, on these I am saturating the bottom with good high quality extra virgin olive oil, and we'll see what the quality of the biscuits are. They should fundamentally taste the same. I like the flavor of an extra virgin olive oil as well as that of butter. But over the next 45 minutes, we'll let them rise, we'll pop them in the oven, and we'll see what we have created. Thanks a lot. All right, guys. It's been about 35 minutes. And as you see, there's a substantial swelling of the biscuits, the yeast rolls. The same for the 3 in olive oil. We'll update you shortly. Alright, guys, it's been another 15 minutes. And as you can see, we got beautiful buns. I've always known that I had magnificent buns, but tonight my buns are spectacular. Okay, guys, it's time to butter the biscuits before we put them in the oven. The process is designed to make sure that they brown evenly, and also designed to make sure that they stay moist, they don't dehydrate to the point at the top of the biscuit is hard. You can see the magnificent growth and size of each biscuit over the duration of this process. This is the last time you will see my buns until they come out of the oven. Again, just a good melted butter. These have done fantastically. It stopped staring at my buns. Yeah, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. But do the best you can. Stop staring at my buns. And no, I can't paint butter and video at the same time. That's not one of my skills. Alright, they're going in a 350 degree oven, approximately 20-25 minutes. Alright, you're simply getting to see how my hot buns are made. Alright, as you see, yeast bread is now out of the oven. It's been buttered. And now for taste and consistency, I'm going to let them simply sit for a second, contract, solidify a little bit. You can say with great certainty, I'm really uncomfortable with you staring at my buns. Enjoy. You can swim in that pool of butter right now. Pool of butter right now.